Alright, so this is the Urban Air Adventure Park. Can't get a picture of the sign because the door's locked. There is our pole scanner, and there's also a coil on top of the pole for the zone drop. There is our rope camera. We'll head over to the slide. Where we can see our camera right there. And just quickly back here, is our extra drop and also the scanner, which I'm about to go up there because it looks like I didn't coil it up. Once again, we can see our camera with our bundle there of slack. Here's our Sky Course camera. I try to leave the plastic on the cameras where I thought that we would be able to reach them easily, but I took the plastic off when they were up really high and we needed a lift for it. So there we go, there's our camera, and then there's another bundle up there tucked away in case we ever want to relocate. Didn't even go the right way to go to the slide. Okay. Yeah, definitely didn't coil these. So essentially, one of these here is the additional drop. The zone drop is what I've been calling it, which needs to be coiled out there. And then this here is the scanner. And I'm gonna coil it up. Nice and neat now. Coil. Once again, you can see the camera. And I believe that that's it for this. So, unfortunately, I've got to go back here and coil this. So I've just been trying to do these as discreetly as possible. And in this case, I will There we go. I had to go grab something to stand on. Now you can see a nice neat coil tucked up in the corner, and we follow along all this black stuff as discreetly as possible. Okay. There's our camera. I think that's it for the Playland. Here is the Leap of Faith cam up there with the strap mount. Right above us is the pile of trash. No. Stairway to Heaven camera. And there's also a coil tucked up in there, which I'll show you from over here. So there's a coil of slack for the camera for possible relocation, as with most, and the additional coil, the zone drop, the hexagon drop from the plane. So I don't know if you can see from there, but there's the camera, and it's got its coil for slack and the extra coil for future use. Okay, now we're at Battle Beam. So here we've got our scanner. Up there, got the camera, boom. There's a little bit of a longer shot. Scanner. Okay. Moving on to, oh yeah, skipped one. As you can see, it's where we had our ladder. There's our camera up there. It's got a little coil of slack, and then if you can see it, there's also the Warrior Course Zone future use coil. If you can't see it through this mesh. There it is. That's the future use coil. There's the camera. And I believe the camera does have some slack to it also, to be relocated if we need to. And that was using the regular mount. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't mention the Stairway to Heaven camera. If you notice, we didn't use the mount because we had trouble getting the mount to attach on to that beam and be able to hold the camera. Same for the Slam Dunk, but at Slam Dunk we used the strap mount. In this case, we opted not to use the strap mount because it just felt like we would be able to get the better angle that way overall. So that's the explanation there. We could not quite get the correct angle when we were using the provided mount, so we went mountless with this one. Okay, now moving on to dodgeball. Scanner, boom, coil, nice and neat. Got one camera with plenty of slack to be relocated either side. Second camera with the also slack to be relocated on either side. And then from back here, I can give you a little bit of a better view. We did this as discreetly as possible, ran it up the black and coiled the slack at the top neatly. Over here is where you have the 3 additional drops, the zone drops for dodgeball area, coiled right here neatly. That is not our wire, that's speaker wire. We did not pull that. It's another company. Let's stop here briefly. I remember we talked about not drilling into these, so I have the scanner drop just kind of sitting in there, sticking out a little bit, so that way when it comes time to, it's pretty easy to locate. And then there you can see the pathway for the zone warrior course and the warrior course camera. And then over here is our pathway for the battle beam camera. This is the scanner for Wipeout, and as you can see, there's also the camera for Wipeout up there. I can probably give you a better angle, so I will go over here. Okay. Alright, let's stick on what we already did. Here's our angle, a better angle on the battle beam, or whatever that is, Wipeout camera. Here is the airbag cam. Airbag. Oh, I skipped. Airbag scanner right there. Here is the ProZone camera. Right in the middle, overlooking everything. Now I have to get up there to show you the others. And then I'm not gonna crawl down there because it's dark, but down there is the there's the extra coil for the future basketball hoop camera to be mounted on the basketball hoop possible addition that we spoke about on our walkthrough. Not quite sure how that fell out, but right there is your scanner for ProTramp. And once again, I just kind of left it here. Figured you guys could cut through this stuff if you want to. But I remember you told me not to do it. Over here, there's this nice little cavity. Can't really see it very well, but literally I'm up here and boom, you can see where the wires there's a cavity in this wall. I'm putting my hand in. Inside there, you have the extra slack. This is the airbag camera right here. You have the extra slack for that, and you have the 3 Pro Tramp zone drops that were requested. Okay, so that's it for this. Up there, you have the Slam Dunk camera using the pole mount bracket centered directly over the hoop. Over here, you have the slack for the scanner. And I believe that that's everything in this area. Over here, they sheetrocked it, but you could still see our pathway. That's where all of our cables go. We're right underneath the closet right now. So here, there was a zone drop for this Instawall, but there was no really place to hide it out here because the ceiling is like that. So the coil for that, for the future location, is in here above the drop ceiling. So that's the Instawall zone drop future coil with the 40 foot of slack. And then, I don't know, I wasn't ever really sure what to do. I talked to David about this. On my print, it shows a scanner and camera. He said the scanner comes off the PC. So we put the camera there, and I think we pulled an extra cable. Maybe I was only supposed to pull one, but I have one here labeled for Instawall camera and Instawall scanner. So I was gonna route the scanner over there, but then I talked to David and he said not to do that. So I just took the extra drop and just put it there. As we move forward, let's see if we can see this one without going up there. See that one? We didn't ever actually walk up there together, so didn't know exactly where to put it, so I left a little bit of extra slack on the scanner for the Sky Course. But there you can see where it comes out of the black framing of the structure, and it goes up to a nice neat coil for when we come, or when you guys come to install the scanners. Over here is the video wall. So we've got the 2 this way you can match it to your picture. There's my 2 coils. I left a ton of slack on these. They are terminated, but it just seemed like there was some ambiguity on what was going on over here. So I've got probably 50 plus feet of slack on both of these video wall locations. And I looked at the picture from Kevin, and I counted the number of stud bays in the picture, and I used the number of stud bays to figure out where he wanted the video wall locations, and I centered the boxes at 4 feet as requested. All right. So over to the racetrack really quick, where we have a few drops. From down here, you might be able to spot our camera up there. Look. There it is. There's our camera for the racetrack up there. All right, over here we have the 3 drops. So one of these is a scanner. One of these is a jumper that does not go back to the IDF. And one of them is the additional zone drop that was requested. So we have, I believe it's probably gonna go in shortest to longest. Probably the shortest is the scanner, medium size is the jumper, and the longest one is the additional zone drop future use coil. And the last one here with the racetrack building guys. Alright, this was probably a little bit of a waste of time. Oh yeah, I walked right past my coil. Half the reason I walked up here. Well, I wanted to showcase the camera. So this is the angle that we wanted coming at me right here when I'm coming around this corner. Boom. Camera. All right, and then here you have the other end of the jumper. So I'm up on the upper level of the cart track because I wanted to try to keep it out of the way. But there's plenty of slack to go down if we need to. And that's, by jumper, I'm meaning the cable that does not go back to the IDF that is over there on that pole. So it goes up and over. Can't see our pathway. So can't see our pathway because it's so discreet. That's why you cannot see it. Okay, so now I'm going down, back down. So now we're heading up to the closet. And then here's my pathway that you can't see it, but that's where I went for the video wall. See, there's one cable right there that has to jump across the beam. But most of the time I was just able to ride on this truss. See those cables hanging? Not Telstar. That is that's speaker wire. That's somebody else's cable. I don't know. None of my stuff is hanging like that. Here is the, yeah, like that slack. That's fire alarm or something else. But basically there's my racetrack camera pointing out to there, and a coil for slack also is wrapped around the beam. And then you can kind of see my pathway. Again, you see that one cable. That cable is actually the additional video wall drop that I added last minute. So the first video wall drop, I actually took a different pathway, but by the time that I got the information that I needed to pull the second drop, I had to use a different pathway, because the original pathway that I used for the video wall, I tied down and around too many 90s to be able to utilize it a second time. So that's the story of why we have that one cable jumping around that pillar. Originally that was not like that. Here I left you 3 boxes of slack. I remember we spoke about 500 feet. It's not quite 500. I think I have a 56-foot box, a 78-foot box, and a 222-foot box. So should get you quite a few patch cables. And then I wrote on the top of every box, patch cable materials left behind at request. So hopefully nobody messes with that. And then here is my bundle. So we have some cables that come across this way. That one coiled up is not me. That's something else. I think that's a speaker. But yeah, those are mine on this pipe right here. So I have some of the cables coming in on this pipe. I have a few that come in. Not that you can see, but I have a few that come in on this beam right here. They come in right on top of the beam, and the beam actually comes in on the other side of this wall. There's a cavity on the other side of the wall that we were able to, instead of doing what they did and just sending them across the middle, we basically did the same thing, but it's inside the wall, so you can't see it. So essentially there's like, I think 3 or 4 total places that the cables come from. They come from, those are the ones that go up high out to the playland, and the Stairway to Heaven and Leap of Faith and whatnot. These are a mixture of the low RAN drops and the medium, kind of the insta-wall drops and whatnot. And yeah, basically that's everything from downstairs that comes through the faceplate that I put up. It's a little crooked, but I couldn't get it to be straighter because it's actually supporting the weight of those cables. And yeah, but it looked better with having the faceplate than not having it, so I left it on. Yeah, I got our sticker there, so you know which cables are ours, but it's pretty obvious because these other ones look pretty bad and ours are clean. And then basically I have this bag around it to try to protect from dust. I didn't put anything around any of the field terminations because I didn't seem worried about it, but there's enough activity in this room. It's clean now because I cleaned it out today and the plumber helped me clean it out, but I put all of our labels for when I come back, and then you can see all the all the RJ45 every single one of these cables is terminated, and you can see my Sharpie labels multiple times. And then in the next phase, when I come back, I'll stick these stickers on and translate these Sharpie labels into how you guys understand it as go-kart cam, go-kart scan, insta-wall zone, slam dunk cam 1, slam dunk cam 2, which is that future use that's under the floor, etc. So I think that's it. Oh yeah, and I spoke with the electrician today. He said he's gonna drop the rack right there, so should be good there. And then I'm sure I forgot to mention a couple of things, but if I forgot it before, I'm probably not gonna remember it now. See, like this. I don't even know what this is. That's something else. That's not even cat cable. I don't know what that is. Maybe it is cat. I don't know, but we didn't pull it. This is some other random cable. Power, maybe. That is mine. So, yep, pretty much it. And kind of the same deal. I mean, pretty much where you see these nice little white bundles, that's Telstar. And when you see the string and whatnot, that's not us. I think one of the ones I forgot was the over here, back in the corner. I don't think I'm gonna be able to see it from up here because I bundled it underneath this thing. But yeah, I think it's like right there where it's hidden. Right down there in the middle is where the zone drop for Wipeout is down there for future. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Pretty sure I walked around this whole place, and that's all my drops, at least that I can remember off the top of my head. Like I said, I'm probably forgetting something. Pretty sure there's a coil. Oh yeah, I showed you this extra coil. It's in the back there. So yeah, pretty sure that's everything. So if you have any questions, let me know.